Okay. There we go. Oh, the music's alright. I also tried to make the latency as low as it could, but we'll see. Okay. Yeah, basically, here's what we got. 3 of the Blooming Radiance boxes. Got 3 of these. I bought 2 of the starter decks. Tokenosaur and Oski. So I bought 2 of those. I'm just going to open one of them since they're both going to be the same thing anyway. And I've had this for a while, but I have the Start Cheer set. Okay. So, I think if anything, I'm going to start off with the Start Cheer set. Because there's not much really in here. It's called, from what I can tell, the Start Cheer set, just because it's primarily a bunch of energies. Or the equivalent of energies, if you compare this to Pokemon. So, let's see here. Yeah, if you can, as you can see back here, it comes with 80 cheer cards, white, green, red, blue, 20 of each, and then 4 Oshi Hollow Mem cards. So you have common cards, just cheer cards, and then the OC or Oshi common, which are the Oshi Hollow Mem cards. And so this one's not going to take too long. It's pretty much just as it says there. It's just the cards themselves. That might be a little too bright. Let's see. It's too low. That might be fine. There we go. So there is the cards. I will say, I think I opened this, I had already opened this before, and I just kind of organized it differently. I organized this by the Oshi common card, along with the energies, and then so on and so forth. So for example, here, you can see that we have Mume, who is white. Her cheer color is white. And so this is an Oshi. So from what I understand, I haven't actually tried playing the game yet, but from what I can tell, the Oshi cards are essentially just kind of like your main boss character in a sense. So they kind of have these abilities that they can play throughout the game. You just have to fulfill the conditions to be able to use them. They also dictate how much life you have at the beginning of the game. So for example, right here it says life 5. So if this was your Oshi that you use during the game, you would have 5 life at the beginning, and these would be the abilities that you'd be able to use, assuming that you fulfill these conditions. From what I can tell, or from what I read, this is the Oshi skill. This one, you can use it so long as you can fulfill the Hollow Power condition. And then any other text that's necessary, you just have to fulfill that. And so you end up getting whatever beneficial effect you get from that. The SP Oshi skill is a once per game, as it says right there, once per game kind of effect. It's usually going to be like something really strong. But yeah. That is the white Oshi card from this, followed by just a bunch of the white Oshi cheer energy kind of cards. So if you kind of wanted to get started on the game, and don't have too much, like you could probably just do the starter deck and you should be fine. But I mainly got this just because I think the Oshi cards in this are unique. Like, they don't show up in the rest of the set. And yeah, you just kind of get started with a decent amount of energy already. And so yeah, this is just all 20 of the white energy. And so that goes with her. So basically, anytime you're playing, you probably want to play this in like a white deck or something like that. From what I can tell, a lot of it kind of works just similar to Pokemon. So yeah, you use white to fulfill white on a card, and if you need any, if there's any like colorless or the equivalent of colorless, you can still use the same energy to fulfill that. Then we have the green Oshi in this case, Usada Picora. Again, her Oshi skills are right there, and also has Life 5. For what it's worth, from what I saw, all the Oshi cards in this Start Cheer set, they essentially all have the same kind of effects. The main difference just being that they are using that effect towards their specific color. So this is the same thing as Mumei's White Baton. So Green Baton does the same thing. And this effect down here does this equivalent to, I think, the other one. Actually, no, I think the SP skills might actually be different. Actually, let's just check that real quick. Yeah, quick guard, once per game during your opponent's turn. Usable if your white Hollow would take damage. Yeah, so there's already a difference there, yeah. And this one's just restorative, so I guess it might be color-based. I'm not sure if the difference in color is... if this works the same way that, like Digimon or Magic does, where the color is kind of associated to a certain type of ability. So, if it is, it kind of seems here that green might be like restoring health kind of thing. Yeah, so Usada Picora and about 20 green cheer cards. Alright. Then for red, we have Kiara, Takanashi Kiara. The red baton again does the same thing as all the other ones. So it's just, I think, like a plus 20 to any attack kind of thing. And now the SP skill, however, one red Hollow Man from your archive. Oh, you get to return a card from your, essentially your trash or graveyard, depending on what game you're familiar with, to hand. Which makes sense. Kiara being a phoenix and all. Reviving makes sense. And then some red cheer cards. And then for blue, we have, of course, Oshimachi Suisei. SP skill. When your Hollow Man deals damage to your opponents, back Hollow Man deal 50 special damage. Oh, okay. So it seems to do like extra damage, like spread damage, it seems like. Interesting. Alright. So yeah, there's that and a bunch of blue cheer cards. This is basically what is in the Start Tier set. Put those away. And if it'll let me, give me a sec. There we go. Okay. Next up, I think this is the one that I had already kind of opened up. But yeah, the starter decks. These should be the same. Yeah, it seems to be the same. So this comes with... It is a pre-constructed deck. One set of 72 cards. So you have 2 Oshi Hololive cards, 50 cards of the main deck, plus 20 cheer cards, white, green, 10 pieces each. Manual, paper playmat, and marker sheets. Total 24 types. So we have 2 Oshi Hololive super rares. So that'll probably be our Oshi cards. So there's 2 types, which is probably going to be the Sora and Oski cards. There is RR, which is double rare, and there's going to be 2 types of those. The rares are going to be 3 types, uncommons 4, and commons is 13. Okay. And I don't think there's anything, yeah, there's no real difference or anything from these, so whatever you get will be the same for all the starter decks. It doesn't come with any packs or anything, it seems like. Yeah, there we go. So there is the deck. And as mentioned, it does come with what I assume is like the rules and everything else as well. We do have the paper mats. Which, honestly, this is actually pretty big, so it doesn't kind of fit within the context of the camera. But if I pull this back a bit, you can see there's like the life, your cheer deck over here, which is essentially your energies, the main positions in the front, your Oshi position, backstage or back position, your what is the equivalent of your trash, the deck, and hollow power, which is associated with the Oshi stuff, I think. I'm not entirely familiar with what the hollow power is. I think it involves something about like changing position from like the backstage and the collaboration positions. Again, I kind of quickly skimmed through the rule sets. I am by no means pro at this or anything like that, but I was at least intrigued by it, which is why I got it. Yeah, here's the actual like quick manual for learning the game. You can actually find it on the website as well. I believe they have it exactly like this. Yeah, turn progression, all that stuff. And then we have counters, which they have like kind of like Pokemon does. So we have 10 damage, 50, 100, and this is the SP Oshi skill. I think this is inspired from, if I remember correctly, Pokemon has, at some point they had the team-up cards, and the team-up cards usually had some kind of like GX skill or something like that, that they could only use like once. And I think that's where that was introduced. Like they would just flip it. If they flipped it around, that means that they had already used the effects. and they can no longer do that with any other cards. So same idea here, I believe, with the SP Oshi skill. Okay, as for the deck itself, let's just take this off. Surprised that they didn't do like the over like they did with the cheer set, but okay, sure. Alright. First thing that we have is the Oshi Rare, or Oshi Super Rare. Yeah, it says, see that show? Yeah, OSR. That is Oshi Super Rare. So it's Sora. It seems that she is white. Oshi skill, she does 5 life, and so on and so forth. This thing is textured, actually. You can kind of see it there, and you can kind of see it over here. It's very, very nice. And then there's also Aski, which is green. She actually has 6 life, so that's interesting. You can also see more of the texture here in the back, which is very nice. Yeah, let me put those in sleeves, actually. I will say, for what it's worth, I am mostly familiar with the Digimon card game for the most part. A lot of comparisons I might make with that, or Pokemon, just because I used to play Pokemon a long time ago. But at this point, it's become way too expensive of a hobby, it seems like. Okay, after those two, there are a bunch of cheer cards. So it seems like 10 white and 10 green. Then we have Debut Sora. I believe Debut is kind of the same thing as kind of like basic in Pokemon. So if you are playing like this game, I believe your goal is to try to go for debuts at the beginning, and then just as you go up, yeah, they get stronger and so on and so forth, similar to Pokemon. So that is Debut Sora. And so notice that this one has HP up here. So it's not an Oshi card. I think this is actually like a performer. So they go on the other positions. Oshis just go in the Oshi position. So Oshis are like your boss monster. Like this. And they have life on the bottom. And then the performers that actually like work alongside your Oshi actually have like HP, and they do damage and things like that. And I believe they have different backs, yeah. So your Oshi card has this kind of back, and every other ones from the main deck have this one. I will say I do like the back on this. This looks very nice, very fancy. Very quality. The cards do feel like they're on actually like pretty good stock. So yeah, that is Sora, 100, also white. I believe this counts as like having traits. If you compare this to like Digimon, like in Digimon they'll usually say like, oh, like dinosaur or something like that, and like sometimes you'll have decks that make use of that specific kind of trait. I believe they have the similar thing here with hashtag JP, Gen 0, and singing. So if you have any kind of effects that work with either singing or Gen 0 or JP, that would work with this card essentially. And there's like an extra thing here. It says you may include any number of this holomem in the deck. Okay, I think that just goes against the notion of, much like a lot of other card games, I believe usually you can only play 4 copies of a certain numbered card. So this, I think, implies that you can play more than 4. And the baton pass here essentially works similar to the retreat costs from like Pokemon. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 of this debut Sora. Then we have this one. So less HP. It's still debut, so I think you can also play this as a basic. But this one has an effect. During this turn, your center holomem gets arts plus 20, so it does a buff to whoever's in your center. And it does 20 damage. And actually, I did just notice this. I believe that is a colorless symbol. So if you compare that, that's your white, that is your colorless. I actually kind of show this here as well. So even though this is a white card, I believe, you can just apply any kind of energy to this, or I guess I should say cheer card, and it should still work. And this actually does say there, down there. Yeah, this is a rare, so it seems like rares tend to have like a holofoil backing to them, while the Oshi super rares seem to be holofoil but with actual texturing. So okay, something to at least be aware of. Alright, so we have Tokunosora. We have 3 of those. Then we have what appears to be first. So it's kind of like a stage 1 for Pokemon in comparison. Has a higher HP. And this one seems to have 2 attacks. This one does 30. And this one for white and a colorless does 50. And this seems to be an uncommon. So, there you go. It's a stage 1, I guess you could say, in comparison. And it's uncommon, so it doesn't actually have any holofoiling. But there are 3 of these. And then we have another Sora. So this one's also a first, but it has a much higher HP. And it says Buzz here. So I'm not familiar with that. This one does 50 damage with this. And Zora Azu Sympathy does 60 plus. If an ASCII holomem is on your stage, art 50 plus. So this thing, this card actually does up to 110 if you have like ASCII paired up with her. Which makes sense actually, because it does use white, green, and colorless. Okay. And it does say here extra. If this holomem is down, you get life -2. So I'm guessing these Buzz cards kind of work similar to like an EX Pokemon in a way. So they're like stronger. But if it gets down, like they're worth more in the long run. Which actually I do like that. I like compared to Pokemon, where a lot of the EXs and stuff are just basic Pokemon. It ends up making the game basically overrun by a lot of those just like strong basics essentially. So making the EXs be like a stage 1 or stage 2, I think that's that's a lot better. It kind of slows down the game a little bit more. Okay, and actually this is what appears to be a double rare. There we go. As it says RR there. So that seems to be a double rare. And so this actually does have texturing if you look at it. So I guess double rares seem to have some kind of texturing. I'm not sure if all buzz cards have texturing or not. But that is pretty neat. Comes with 2 of them. I do want to think if it's like an SR, a double rare, or a UR, I'm probably just going to put them in sleeves. Basically, anything that has texturing, I'm definitely going to put in a sleeve. I have yet to see what an SR looks like, other than the Yoshi rares, or the Yoshi supers, but I don't know, we'll see. Alright, here's Iris. This is also a debut card. White, HP 50. As an effect, Hope. Look at your hollow power. Reveal 1 card from among them. And add it to the hand, then put 1 card from your hand as hollow power. Okay, that's kind of neat. Lets you kind of like switch out some cards. And then Embodiment of Hope does 20. And this seems to be a common card. So we have 2 of those. Then we have Debut Oski, HP 100, and it just does 20 damage. And this is another situation similar to the other Sora, that you can put any number of this Hollow Mem in the deck. So any number of this specific card. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 of them. Then we have the other debut Oski, which has less health, but it does have an effect, and it says expanding map. You may roll a die once. If it is 4 or less, send the top card of your cheer deck to your back Hollow Mem. Then if it is 1, you may move this Hollow Mem to the back position. You may send the top card of your... So I'm guessing if you roll 4 or less, you can put a cheer or essentially an energy on any of your back row. And then if you roll a 1, you can move this to the back row. Okay. I need to learn more about this to make better sense, but that actually doesn't sound bad. That sounds pretty good. And again, this is a rare. And there are 3 of them. Then we have the Stage 1 Oski, HP 160. Journey with no destination does 50. This is an uncommon, it seems like. And we get 3 of those. Then we have a second, so this is like a stage 2 Oski. HP has 190. Zora's the gravity 60, and then it has like a little cog here, 50. It says if a token of Sora Hollow Mem is in your stage, send the top card of your cheer deck to your Hollow Mem. So I guess this powers up one of your I guess it's probably the person that you're paired with. And I believe, if I remember correctly from what I read, this little gear here with the plus 50 means that it does bonus damage to this specific typing. So against blue, it does 50 more. So if you were attacking someone that was blue, this would do 60 plus 50, so it does 110. And then we have Destiny Song. For 2 green and 1 colorless, it does 100 plus 50 against blue. You may roll a die once. If it is odd, its arts gets plus 50. Then if it is 1, its arts gets plus 50. So if you roll a 1, you're basically hitting for 100 plus 50 plus 50. So it's hitting for 200. And if you're hitting against blue, so it's 250. That is kind of crazy. But it's definitely based on a rule, so that's kind of, I don't know, it's a little rough. I don't know, I can only make the comparison again with Pokemon, and most usually Pokemon stuff, anything involving dice rolls and coin flips are kind of iffy, but who knows if that's the case here. And this happens to be a double rare, it seems like. So it also has like texturing, if you can look at that. Yeah. And it seems we get 2 of that. So let me put that in the sleeve. Alright. Next up we have debut Irani Yofi, or Yo 15. 70 HP, a green. Drawing together, you may send 1 white or green cheer from your archive to your center hollow mem. That's pretty cool. So you're kind of like recovering energy from your trash in a way. And then you do 20 damage. And it's a common. Okay. Very nice. And you get 1, 2 of those. And then we have Sora Z. Or Sora Z, I think. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I don't know how this works. So it's both yellow, both white and green. HP 130. It is a stage 1. So I believe, if I remember correctly, like you can do like this on top of a debut, or you can do like a stage 1 on top of a stage 1, something like that. It's a little iffy for me, but I did read something like that. Let's see here. It says a feature I want to surpass. It does 50 for 2. You may roll a dice once. If it is odd, send the top card of your cheer deck to this hollow mem. If it is even, draw 1 card from your deck. That seems pretty good. And then extra here. This hollow mem is also regarded as Sora / Oski. So I guess this counts as either Sora or Oski. So any effects that involve Oski or Sora work with this card as well. That's pretty cool. And this one's just a rare. Oh. And so there's 1, 2 of that. Then we have Spot Amane Kanata. I'm not sure what Spot is. I think, if I'm correct, I think this kind of works as a debut as well, or similarly. So it's kind of like a basic Pokemon, but the difference is that they can't climb up, I guess. I think is supposed to be the idea. I might be wrong, though. HP 150. It is colorless, though, so this kind of does not have a color associated with it. And even though that's the case, it does 30, and it uses white-green, so that's interesting. And so yeah, it says here, extra, this hollow mem can't bloom. And I believe bloom refers to the evolving, or like the climbing up. So yeah, this card can't bloom, so it can't climb up, unlike the debut and the first and the second stuff. So this is uncommon. It has 1, 2, 2 Kanatas. We have a Spot Koyori. Does 50. Zoasco. If collabed with Tokinosaura, draw 1 card from your deck. If collabed with Oski, send the top card of your cheer deck to your center hollow mem. I'm curious if both of these cards trigger, or both of these effects trigger, if it's paired with the Zorazy that we saw here. So like if this thing is collabing with this card, does it trigger both effects? I think I'd have to look into that. But that seems pretty neat if it does. Again, it is a spot, so this one can't bloom, and it does 10 damage. We have 1, 2 of that one. And then we have support cards, which I think these work similar to like items and supporters in Pokemon as well. So support staff. Though the interesting thing is that some of these do have limitations. So this one says limited, usable only once per turn. So this is like a hard once. So it's Nodoka, draw 3 cards from your deck. So just, you can play it, draw 3. But you can only play one of these per turn. And you got 1, 2, 3 of those. You have another one here, support staff. Again, I think usable only once per turn. I believe, if I'm correct, I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to read or look into this again. But I think when it comes to cards like these, if you use one card that has the limitation here, that means you can't use one of these. So it's limited to use only once per turn, but I think it's for anything that's marked as limited. So if I use Nodoka here, for example, I can't use Manager Chan. I'd have to wait until next turn. I believe that's how it works. And I think that's essentially their way of kind of separating out between kind of like supporters in Pokemon again. Like supporters, you can only play one supporter per turn. I think same idea here, but it's just based off of whether or not that they have that limited on it or not. This card can only be used if you have one or more cards in hand, excluding this card. Return all the cards in your hand to the deck and shuffle it, then draw 5 cards from your deck. Okay. So this is kind of sort of like a not quite Professor's Research. It's probably closer to, maybe, if I remember correctly, I think N is somewhat similar. Yeah, because I think N is just general, like shuffle your hand and like draw 5 or something. So if anyone's familiar with Pokemon, I think N does a similar effect. So there's 1, 2, and 3 of those. So notice this one doesn't have a limited thing, so you can use as many of this one as you want. So this one is a support item, normal PC, reveal 1 debut Hololive from your deck, place it on stage, then shuffle the deck. Oh, okay. So this is basically it's like a card that just searches out basics. That's pretty good. 1, 2 of those. And then we have sub PC. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal 1 limited support card from among them, add it to hand, then return the rest to the bottom of the deck in any order. This kind of reminds me of like the Pokedex, I think so. I think it was like maybe like Pokedex or something like that, where it lets you just kind of find a supporter. So yeah, this lets you look for any limited support cards. There's 1 and 2 of those. And then Amazing PC. This card can only be used if you archive 1 cheer from your stage. So it costs basically an energy to use this. Interesting. And it is a limited card, so that's interesting as well. Reveal 1 first Holomem or second Holomem other than Buzz from your deck. Add it to the hand, then shuffle the deck. Okay, so this lets you search stage 1 or stage 2 Holomems that are not Buzz, and it's at the cost of an actual energy on board. That's interesting. So that's 1, 2 of those. We have Circle of Hololive Listeners. It says, roll a die once. If it is 3 or greater, send 1 cheer from your archive to your holoman. This seems like it could be good, but so long as you actually hit the 3 or greater. For what it's worth, the probability is on your side. It is 3 or greater. So if it's a 6-sided die, it's basically you have like 2/3 chance of it hitting. So I can see people probably wanting to play this just to kind of get a bunch of energy on board as quickly as possible. So there's 1 and 2 of that. And this one's an event, again, which is limited. First Gravity. This card can only be used if you have 6 or less cards in hand, excluding this card. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal any number of Sora and or Oski from among them, and put the revealed Holomem into hand. Then return the rest to the bottom of the deck in any order. Okay. So this basically lets you search for any Oskis or Soras from your deck. That's pretty neat. Okay, I can see why this is limited. Because if you end up showing 4 cards and all of them are Sora or Oski, you just literally did a draw 4. So that is kind of insane. Because it says put them reveal any number of Sora or Oski from among them and put the revealed Holomem into the hand. So you can theoretically reveal 4 Oski Soras and just put them all into your hand. That's crazy. And there's 2 of this. And that seems to be the whole deck. Yeah, I like the idea of this. Again, it seems very, very similar to Pokemon. I am very interested to see how this plays. I think it being similar to Pokemon is good because it makes it have kind of a low barrier for entry. I do think that Pokemon is one of the simpler card games for people to kind of learn and play. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this game takes off. Alright, so that is the starter deck. Let's see if I can find the... Here it is. This will work. Okay. We'll put that away for now. And I do want to get to opening the actual boxes. Oh, these are very intense songs. Kind of all over the place, but sure, why not? Okay. So, yeah, here's the boxes. There are some other rarities here that I'm not entirely familiar with. Here we go. So let's see if that picks up okay. Okay, so there is OSR, which I believe we already saw. That is Oshi Super Rare. There's a double rares. There's the rares, uncommons, and commons. But then there's parallels here. So I'm assuming these are similar types of cards, but of a different rarity. SEC, I'm assuming a secret, just like Digimon. OUR, I'm assuming is Oshi Ultra Rare or Ultimate Rare, maybe. UR, I'm assuming is also Ultimate Rare. SR is Super Rare. I don't know what S is though. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for what that might be. And actually, let me check. Does the website say anything about the rarities? So it does show S, but I don't know what S is. Is it just like a special rare? Wasn't Q&A maybe? Nope. Yeah, it doesn't say what S is. I honestly have no idea. Oh, wait, rule manual. Okay, yeah, no, this doesn't tell me anything. Okay, so I don't know what S stands for. Maybe it's like a specialty card or something, or... I'm unsure. Anyway, you can see here at the bottom, I've picked out some cards that are probably hard to come by, so there's probably little to no chance that I'm actually gonna be able to pull any of these. But these are cards that I noticed that are in this box, or should be available in this set, that I thought looked neat, or I like the art. So they are the ones that I'm striving for. Of course, the first two are essentially the big hits for the boxes. I think anyone that's trying to buy any packs for this, it's usually trying to get any of the signed cards. And so they basically want either the signed Kiara or the signed Suisei. I am a fan of a couple of holomems, and I know for a fact that Hallie tried opening many boxes and did not get a single signed card, so no offense, but I'm hoping that all of her bad luck leads to good luck here. Because I believe she opened 175 of these boxes or something, and did not pull a single signed card. So right now I'm just trying to open these boxes up. Alright. Alright. We'll start off with this first box. So it does say here it is 12 packs per box. So there's actually not that many packs in each box. How many? Okay, don't know how the setup per pack is and how many cards are in each pack. So I guess we'll just have to check. Seems that there are no box toppers for this, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's fine. Okay. Yeah, it is 12 packs, so it is just 6 and 6. Which is not a lot. 8 cards per pack. And I don't actually know the general setup per pack, so we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna try to see if I can pay attention to the general setup. I mentioned this just because Digimon tends to do just all your commons first, followed by your uncommons, and then in the back end you'll have like your rares or your super rares or anything like that. I don't know if this follows something similar to that. I know that I think recently Pokemon has changed it to something similar where it's just commons followed by uncommons followed by rares or altar or like reverse hollows or things like that in the back end. But I know that back in the day, sometimes you would have like things kind of mixed around, and the specialty card or like the hit card is usually like in the middle. So we'll see what happens here. All right, starting off, we have Akko's Bales. So it is a first. So what's it called? Stage 1 equivalent, essentially. Witness Me does 60. This is a common, so okay. I do want to just mention Akko's Bales. That's actually what my mat in the back is, so I'm very happy to see this. I do like Faye quite a bit. She's very entertaining. Okay, so we have that. We have debut Aki Rosenthal. This is one of those debut cards where you can have any number of this in your deck. And it's also a common, so that's 2 commons so far. Debut Kanata. Also, any number of these can be added to your deck. Also a common. A White Shear, so that is a common as well. So that is, so far, has been 3 commons that are actually talents. And a regular energy. This is Aki first. Restores 20 HP to one of your Hollow Mem. Does 30 damage. And this one is uncommon. That is 1 uncommon. Support item. Limited 1. Idle Microphone. This card can only be used if you have 6 or less cards in hand, excluding this card. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal any number of Hollow Mem with singing from among them. And add the revealed Hollow Mem to hand. That's interesting. Okay, so that works, I think, with Oski, with Sora. Don't know who else has. Kanata has singing. Yeah. So there's a couple of them. Alright, and this one is also an uncommon. So that's 2 uncommons so far. Sora, stage 1. Bloom effect. So I think this activates when you go into this. So like if you go from debut to this or something like that, that triggers the bloom effects. Draw 1 card from your deck. That's not bad. That's actually very Digimon. It does 40 damage. Also an uncommon, so that's 3 uncommons now. Oh my god, wait, actually this is one of the ones that I wanted. Shirogano Noel. It is a rare. This one can't bloom, but I just really love the art here. Looks so freaking pretty. You may send 1 cheer from your archive to your Hollow Mem. That's really good. So yeah, this can't bloom. This is a rare. So it seems like it is 3 regular commons, a cheer possibly, then 3 uncommons, then a rare. And I believe there might be something else. No, that's it. Yeah. So that is 3 energy, 3 rare. So I believe the rare can probably be either a rare or it can be any of the other rarities. But this is one of the things that I did want to get, so I'm very happy that I was able to get the Noel. Very nice. I'll put the rares to one side, actually. These are uncommons, and I think I'll put the commons and uncommons separately. Because I don't actually know how to separate these things quite yet. Alright. We have troop members, so this goes along with Polka. If the Hollow Mem this fan is attached to would use arts, this fan is also regarded as a red shear. The Hollow Mem this fan is attached to takes plus 10 damage. Okay, that's still a little rough. You're doing damage to yourself. You may only attach this fan to your Amora Polka. You may attach any number of this fan per Hollow Mem. So you can actually put a couple of these on. That's interesting. That is a common. Oh my god, this is really nice art for just a common card. Suisei, Street Snap, A Moment Under Sunlight. So it's just 30 and 50. And also a common. Aki Rosenthal. Stage 1, HP 160, 30 and 50. Also common. Stage 1, Muna Hoshinova. 140, does 60, and also common. Okay, so it's not necessarily that there will be a cheer card in here, I guess. Oh my god, actually. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So this would have been an uncommon, I think. But this is a double rare. First, Muna Hoshinova has a buzz. So it's a buzz card. HP 240, does 50, 80. You may archive 1 green cheer or blue cheer from this holomem. Deal 30 special damage to one of your opponent's back holomem. Interesting. So this one is actually a double rare. That is cool. Actually, I do want to keep track of how many of any kind of rarity you get per box, if there isn't even any certain number. So we got a double rare. I have to sleeve that. Hololive Indonesia Gen 3. This card can only be used if you have 6 or less cards in hand, excluding this card. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal any number of holomem with ID Gen 3 from among them, and add the revealed holomem to hand. Then return the remaining cards to the bottom of the deck in any order. Yeah, this is probably just something you would want to play in ID Gen 3 deck, I'm guessing. So this one is an uncommon. Konnichiwa. Reveal one cheer from your cheer deck with the same color as one of your holomem with promise, and send it to your holomem with promise. Then shuffle the cheer deck. That's pretty good. And then there's it's uncommon as well. And then we have our rare. Yeah, it's our rare. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. So our rare is Aki Rosenthal. Gothic Doll. Send the top card of your cheer deck to your holomem. If a tool is attached to this holomem, restore 40 HP to this. That's pretty good. Secret Shared Key does 70 plus 50 to white. If a tool is attached to this holomem, this art gets plus 50. So that would be 70 plus 50 plus 50 if you're attacking white. Neat. So we got a rare and we got a double rare. I will say I do appreciate that the double rare is in the uncommon slot. So that's interesting. So far we've got a double rare. These are uncommons. These are commons. See what else we get. Okay. Debut Mume. This one is also one of those that you can have any number of this card. It is a common. Rose Knights. During your opponent's turn, if the holomem this fan is attached to is downed, send the top card of your cheer deck to your Aki Rosenthal. You may only attach this fan to your Aki Rosenthal, and you may attach any number of this fan per holomem. Okay, so you can put this onto an Aki, and then when this gets knocked, whichever holomem you have this attached to gets knocked out, you can add an energy to another Aki, I guess. You got Kobo. 40 raindrops, 50, deal 10 special damage to 3 of your opponent's back holomem. Wow, that sounds really good, actually. However, your opponent's life does not reduce even if downed. Okay, that's a little kind of like, eh. So you're trying to just do damage, like accrue damage on the back end, but not necessarily trying to down them with this. That's a common. And we have a Yofi. That's just 50 damage. Also common. Alright, this is uncommon ASCII debut. While your life is 3 or less, you may ignore bloom level and bloom. Oh, you may ignore bloom level and bloom this holomem to your hand's second ASCII. Oh, okay, wow. That's really good. And yeah, this is uncommon. Interesting. Kanata, Angel on Adventure. During this turn, your center holomem gets arts plus 10. Then if your center holomem has Gen 4, your center holomem gets arts plus 20. So it can boost up to 30 to Gen 4s, but it does also just boost at least by 10 to any holomem. It's not bad. It's an uncommon. Paco's Bales. The mouse idol finally appears. If bloomed from debut, you may return one debut holomem or first holomem from archive to hand. If the return card has #EN, deal 20 special damage to your opponent's collab holomem. That's interesting. And our rare is Kiara. Phoenix Sword Princess, kneel before me. You may archive one holomem that is stacked to this holomem. Deal 40 special damage to your opponent's collab holomem. Okay. I don't quite understand how that works, but I'll just look into it. That is our rare. Okay, so there's no other crazy cards in that pack. And so we have our commons, uncommons. Okay. Here we have Mume. This is 20 and 60. This is common. Debut Bailey. What's up? If a thread shear is attached to this holomem, you may roll a dice. If it is odd, deal 20 special damage to your opponent's collab holomem. And you can use as many as you want of this debut card. Okay. Pioneers. During your opponent's turn, if the holomem this fan is attached to is downed, reattach one shear from the holomem this fan is attached to your other holomem. You may only attach this fan to your ASCII. Okay. So this is ASCII focused. Whoa, hello. This is an Oshi super rare, OSR. Okay, so that's Aki Rosenthal. Taking up, again, an uncommon slot, so good to know. Survival power. Once per turn, reveal one Stone Axe from your deck and attach it to your green holomem, then shuffle the deck. So I guess this basically just helps you apply items onto your cards. And then Song of the Earth, once per game, restore all HP of your... Yeah, that seems like it makes sense with green. Oh my god, that's really good though. It's really, really cool. So this is an OSR. Gonna have to sleeve that. Uncommon Louis. If bloomed from debut, you may archive one card from your hand, draw 2 cards from your deck. So discard 1, draw 2, that's not bad. It's usually a pretty good effect in most card games. Tale of the Moon and the Rabbit. I think this is a focus with Muna, probably. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal any number of Pecora and or Muna. Oh, okay. From among them, and add the revealed holomem to hand. Then return the remaining cards. Okay, so this is just a pairing for Pecora and Muna. Similar to the... like, I think it was something Gravity from the deck with Soranoski. Oops. Uncommon, I'll smack you with a blunt weapon. Roll once if it is... Roll a die once. If it is 3 or less, archive one of your opponent's holomem's cheers. If your Oshi holomem is Nanashi Mume, you may ability shift once per game, archive 2 of your opponent's center holomem's cheers. Okay, that... I don't know what ability shift means, but I'll have to look that up. And then for the rare, Orochrony, 200. Wow, that's a lot. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention to the seconds. But, okay. Rewind, return one of your opponent's back holomem to debut holomem after removing damage. One debut holomem and all of the cheers remain. Return all other cards to hand. I'm gonna have to make sense of that effect again. Okay, sorry. So return one of your opponent's back holomem to debut. So if they were like stage 1 or stage 2 or anything like that, they go back to debut. That's what that means. And it says after removing damage, so you remove the damage, I guess. One debut holomem and all of the cheers remain. And then you turn all other cards to hand. So stage 1s and the stage 2s actually go back to hand. So I guess the idea of that is just kind of doing interruption. You're just kind of slowing your opponent down. But they can just kind of start climbing back up right afterwards. And then fast forward. The 60 plus 50 extra damage to red, I guess. You may bloom a first holomem from your hand on one of your debut back holomem placed this turn. Okay. So just by effect, like you can debut or you can bloom something. Okay. I don't know how good of a card that is. I'm gonna have to like look into this a bit more. Okay. These are the uncommons. These are the commons. Okay, and I need to sleeve the Aki. Alright. Next up we have Pecora. That's common. A Louis, the kind of Louis. Normal PC, we saw this already in the original deck, the starter deck. A red cheer. Okay, I guess there is a benefit to getting the cheer set, because you don't know how many actual cheers you'll get from an actual box. So far, I've only pulled 2, which is not a lot. So, it's not bad. Oh, this is a double rare. Okay, so another double rare. Very nice. Okay, so I guess seconds do go up to 200, or higher possibly. Fallen Angel, deal 50 special damage to your opponent's center holomem. Very cool. Wings darker than black. Does 100 plus 50 to red. I keep wanting to say fire, but no, it's red. If your opponent's holomem is down by this arts, and the dealt damage was greater than the remaining HP by 50 or more, your opponent gets life -1. That's really cool. Wow, that's kind of insane. I kind of like the idea. Huh. But yeah, that's a double rare. Very cool. Takana Louis. This one's an uncommon. As appointment, deal 10 special damage to your opponent's collab holomem. Deal 10 special damage to your opponent's collab. Okay, so yeah, both of them do the same thing. Promise. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal any number of holomem with promise from among them and add the revealed holomem to hand. Then return the remaining cards. Okay, so this just searches up promise members, it seems. And then for the rare, we have a first Suisse. Memories of the Snowy Mountain. You may roll a dice once. If it is odd, down one of your opponent's back holomem whose HP is reduced by 40 or more. However, your opponent's life does not reduce even if downed. Okay. I guess that makes sense to not make these things like too crazy strong. Okay. Uncommons. Commons. You'll have quite a few left in the box. Oh, actually, before I do anything else, I need to sleeve the double rare card, though. So far, I have one Oshi super rare, and 2 double rares from 1 box. Alright, now we have Iris, and I couldn't help but laugh at reading I'm a pure Nephilim. Sure, alright, Iris, sure. That's a common. Kazuma Iroha. Orocrony. Zeta. This is one of those debuts that you can put any number of. I feel like that's pretty high HP for... I don't know, actually. I think most of the ones that have the crazy amount that you can play of the debuts, they usually have high HP. So that makes sense. I think that is all of our commons. Next up we have Zeta again, which is first. So since that is our first uncommon, I'm guessing we don't get any kind of hit this pack. If Bloom from debut, reveal 1 debut holomem or first holomem other than Buzz from your deck with ID Gen 3. Okay, that's cool. So this can basically help you find more debut or stage 1 holomem for the Gen 3 deck. So out of Picora. Send the top card of your cheer deck to your center holomem or collab. So this is a boost, essentially, to any of your guys, so that's kind of neat. And then Penlight. Reveal 1 cheer from your cheer deck with the same color as one of your holomem. Send it to your holomem, then shuffle the cheer deck. So this is just basically just put energy onto any of your guys. So wait, is this all the colors actually from the game? It's white, red, blue, green, yellow, and purple. I think are probably going to be introduced in set 2, because from what I understand, I think set 1 or the first set only has white, red, blue, and green. Okay. And then Usada Picora, nice. Actually the one that I have on my list there. You may roll a dice once. If it is even, reveal a Buzz holomem from your deck. Add it to hand, then shuffle the deck. That is really good, actually. This thing can just find a Buzz. It's very, very neat. And that is that second one there. Alright, how many packs do we still have left? Oh my god, that was just half of the... Oh no, wait, that has been... Oh yeah, that's been half the box. I guess it makes sense. I've actually been reading like a lot of these, so I might have to start going a little quicker. There's Polka. Friend. I'm assuming this has something to do with Mume. I'll probably have to read this in my own time, because yeah, it's starting to last a little long. Picora. And Kiara. So that's the last common. So if I have any hit, it should be after this. Oh, there we go. Got another Buzz. So Zeta, Buzz. Once per turn, collab position only. If your holomem would take damage from your opponent, you may roll a dice once. If it is odd, the damage is not taken. Interesting. Very cool, very nice. So far that is 2 double rares and 2 Buzz cards. So that leaves us with an uncommon, which is Exciting Prank Time, and Kobo Kanaru going along with it, and then Takane Lui for our rare. So interesting enough, this card does extra damage to yellow, but yellow is not introduced until the next set, I believe. Also, one of these traits is alcohol, which I find very hilarious. Okay. Actually, you know what? Zestia deserves a sleeve. So actually that's been, I believe that's 2 buzzes. Oh, so this is a double rare actually. Didn't realize that. So it's a double rare along with the rest of these. So that's 2 buzz cards that are double rare. This Kanata isn't a buzz, but it is also a double rare. And so we've gotten 3 double rares so far and an Oshi super rare. Alright. Now we have Sora, Kotori, which goes along with Kiara, Kobo, and a blue cheer. We have, what is this? This is an S card, so I don't really know what's going on there. So I don't know if this is maybe like a holographic version of another card, maybe? So it doesn't have any texture, but it is an S. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. There we go. That is an S card. As you can see there. Yeah, I don't know if this is maybe like a card that's already like in the set, but this is just like a hollow version of the card. I don't know. I'm gonna put this with the rares though. I'm gonna have to look into that. Then we have Aki Rosenthal, Gaming PC. And then Nana Shimume for the rare. So okay, that's 1 S so far. We have an Amelia Watson. Suisei. Jobs. Okay. Goes with Aki, it seems like. Kiara of Vidarsen. I'm probably saying that wrong, but still. It's 20 damage. Okay, after this, we'll see if we get a hit. And... oh my god, we did get a hit. What is that? This is a UR, okay. Very cool. So Suisei, the light that sparks across the sky. Send the top card of your cheer deck to your blue holomem. Very cool. Shining Comet, you may archive 2 blue cheers from this holomem. This art gets plus 60 for each holomem that is stacked to this holomem. This art can target your opponent's back holomem too. Oh my god, that's crazy. I need to look into what stacked means. I don't know if that's like collaboration or something, but okay. Yeah, that's kind of insane. This feels like it's very boss monster-y. Or I guess I should say boss talent-y. Not sure how to put it. But yeah, okay, wow, Jesus. This is a UR, so definitely gonna sleeve that. Then we have Suisei for the uncommon, Yofi for the uncommon. For the rare, we have Bay, which I don't think... okay, this one looks similar to this one that we have here on the list, but I'm assuming they're not supposed to be the same, because this one looks like it's full art. So I think we're aiming for full art here. And this one actually has a border around it. Interesting. Okay. I am curious to see what the full arts look like. I'm curious if maybe this is like a full art as well. I don't know if they are URs or anything like that. Interesting though. So far that's 3 double rares, 1 UR, and 1 OSR. All right, we have Oski, Gonmo, Louis, Stone X. So this means that there isn't a hit in this pack. We have Polka. We have Mume. We have Suisei's Microphone. And our rare is Flare. Oh, very cute. I love the art from these, like, adventure, what is it, Gen 3 adventure cards. They're so cute. Who's the artist? Illustrator is Mono, it seems like. Really love their art style. Alright, 2 packs left. We have Upal, Polka, Oski, Green Cheer. Oh my god! Speaking of which, yes, the exact one that's right here, which is Bay. This one is an SR, so it's a super rare. So okay, I guess the full arts are super rares. Very, very cool. Oh, and then you get to just see like all the texture and stuff. That's so nice. I love this. This is such a cool card. Also, a big fan of just Bay having the actual like cards from the card game. Love that. Reminds me of like the Agumon from like the promos for the Digimon card game, where it just shows like Agumon holding the cards. Very, very neat. Love that. That's definitely getting a sleeve. Then we have Kobo. So that makes you my enemy, which is definitely a Sora card. And for the rare we have Kanata. Boom. So weirdly enough, we are kind of slowly making our way down the row here. I doubt I'm gonna get the Kiara or the Suisei, but like, wow, these are really, really cool hits. So that is 1 SR, 1 UR, an OSR, and 3 double rares. And now for the last pack. Okay, so we have Mume, Kobo, Ankimo, and then Muna. And if there's anything behind this, it'll be our hit for the pack. And yes, there is something here. This is a double rare. Double rare Oski. Very, very cool. Then we have Kiara. Very cute. I love the art there. Mume. And then a Picora rare. Okay. So that is the end of the first box. So if this is anything to go off of, then think we can make the assumption, and again, we have 2 more boxes to kind of help clarify this a bit more, or strengthen our little hypothesis here. But we're always going to get a rare from a pack, it seems like. There, we actually got 12 rares. We did pull a single S card. Again, not sure what that represents, but there is an S card here. And just out of curiosity, let me try to see if there is another OCG that looks just like that, or like has the same effects. So this one's a debut OCG. And so just to be clear, I am looking on the website. At the card list. Let's see here. Actually, you know what? Let me just look for OCG. I think there's an option to push his green. Okay. So. Okay, so there is an uncommon OCG with these exact same like effects and attack. The difference though is that that one's uncommon, and so this one actually has a hollow background to it. So I'm gonna assume that the S cards are just probably like hollow, or you could say like parallel rare versions of maybe uncommon cards, possibly common. I'm not sure, since again this is our first box and only pulled 1 S, so I don't know if all the S cards are just for uncommon cards, or it could be just for common and or uncommon. And if that is the case, you know what, we'll give it a sleeve, why not? Even though it seems to be on par with like a rare card, in my opinion. But if we think of it that way, we have 12 rares, and then from that, then we have 4 double rares in the box, from this box. We have 1 special rare, which is probably like a reverse holo, and when compared to other kind of things, I guess you could, if you compare it to like Digimon, most EX sets usually have like 1 or 2 reverse holos, so that could be the comparison there. Then we have an SR, which is our Paco's Bales here. We have a UR, which is our Suisei. And then we have an OSR, which is our Oshi super rare. So this counts as like someone like kind of like a boss monster card. So again, I keep saying boss monster. I don't mean to say boss. Like, yeah, I guess it's kind of like, I don't know how Commander works for like any of the Magic stuff, but I'm guessing it's the same thing as a Commander. Hard to say. Okay. Just out of curiosity, I'm kind of looking on OCG if any of these are like kind of like big hits. From what I can tell, the Aki Rosenthal here It's about $7, so it's a pretty moderate card, not that bad. Pretty cheap. This Suisse seems to be a pretty big hit. This is about $225, so that's kind of crazy. The Bay. Okay, so the SRs are definitely a little on the cheaper end. Bay is about $9 around there. It's fine by me. I'm a big fan of Bay, so I'm really happy to have gotten this card. The S cards. S cards seem to be dependent on how useful the card probably is. So for OCG, the most expensive one I'm seeing is probably the normal PC, which is insane. Going for about 40 right now. Okay, OCG's not too crazy. It's about $8. Still very cute. And then what about the double rares? Okay, so double rares seem to be a bit more like on the cheaper end. It's probably the equivalent of like an SR in Digimon. So with his OCG being about $3, the Kanata going about $4, Zeta here going about $4.75, around $5, and then Muna going for about $3. So the big hit in this box was definitely the Suisse. Crazy. So it would probably be UR is probably the more expensive stuff, then SR, then OSR maybe, or maybe SR and OSR probably on par, and then the special or the S card could be around the same. Okay, so that gives us a better idea of what to expect with the other boxes. Okay, and I am out of penny sleeves, so I need to open up another pack here. All right. Another box. Definitely gonna go faster with these. At least try to. I will say it would be nice if this came with like a little box topper, because I feel like box toppers, well, I'm just used to box toppers from the Digimon card game, but they're nice. They're just nice to have. Just nice to see what I get, what one gets from the box. Okay, first pack from box 2. Gonna see if getting a UR is a common thing for boxes at all, or if it's just a special situation here as well. Rose Knights, Kobo, Sakura, Yofi. So this next one is possibly a hit. Okay, and wasn't a hit. But we got Crony, we got Louis, Iroha, and then Aki is our rare. 2, 3. Those go there, those go there. And again, I don't realistically think I'm going to get any of the signed cards, but if I could pull one, I really want the Kiara. I would love to pull the Kiara card. I really love her music. Her music is really good. Okay, we got Louis, normal PC, Iris, Zeta, This could be a hit. So what do we get? We got a Sora, token of Sora. And this is a double rare. Okay. So I'm going to sleeve that in a bit. And we have Promise, Mume, and for the rare we have Kiara, speaking of which. So our first hit of the box is a double rare, which is Sora. Next pack. We have Iroha, Crony, Upao, Yara. Next card is probably our hit. It is not a hit, but we got a Kobo. Very cute art. Aki, Muna, and our rare is a Suisei. Back. Wild Rabbit Alliance, Kanata, Polka, Zeta. Come on, super rare Polka. Oh, it's okay. It's Pecora. This is our S, so this is a special rare, so like a reverse holo kind of thing. We have an Oski, a Mume, and a rare Yofi. Alright, let's sleeve up that Pecora. Sada Pecora. Alright. Next up we got Polka, Oski, Mume, a blue chair. Again, hoping for the full arts Polka. This is a Kobo. This is also an S. Okay, that's two S's. Okay. Weird. But alright, we'll take that. Idle Microphone, Yara, and a Pecora rare. Actually, I know that the microphone switches singing. Is that okay? Minor gripe, and I guess this is just me because I'm a fan of Kiara. Why is she not singing? She does singing. She sings a lot. I feel like this should work with Kiara, but whatever. Maybe not all Kiara cards are singing cards, but maybe there might be some. Actually, let me check here. Because we did pull another Kiara here. You know, this one also doesn't have singing. I'm a little disappointed with that. Kiara's a great singer. Yeah, Kobo gets a sleeve. So far this box is a little different. We have two S's and one double rare. Now we have Kobo, Ankimo, Bay, Stoneaxe, and for the hits, we get Polka. This looks to be a double rare. And yes, I'm correct. This is a double rare. Oh, it's a Buzz, actually. So I think all of the Buzz cards might be double rares. So that's very cool. Exciting Prank Time, Zeta, and for the rare we have Kanata. Sleeve up the Polka Love this polka. Not the polka I'm looking for, but I'm still very happy to pull it. Alright. Got Aki, Kanata, Amelia, Muna, and now our hit is... There is no hit. Okay. So we have Pecora, Suisei, and Hermite. And then Pecora for our rare. Maybe we just got very lucky with the first box. Who knows? Alright. We have Friend, Pecora, Muna. Whoa, okay, hold on. What's going on here? This is an Oshi super rare, which I find weird because this is taking up a common slot, it seems like. Okay. So we have an OSR. Okay, very cool. Do we actually get another hit behind this? I don't think so. Yeah, we don't. Okay. That's weird. Yeah, this is an uncommon. So, Kobo, Yofi, Sora, and then our rare is Marine. I do like that we finally have, like, all four of this, like, art style cards. We got the Flare, Noelle, and the Pecker in the last box, and now we have Marine, so have this up there. That's really fun. But whoa, okay, was not expecting the OSR. Was the OSR in a common slot in the last time? I don't remember, but okay, we got an OSR. And if that is anything, if the last box is anything to indicate, that means that that is our OSR for the box, I think. I think we only get the one. Okay. So that is our Oshi Super for the box. Possibly still an SR and a UR. We'll see what happens there. Okay. Here we go. After this, we got Suisei. We got Jobs, Mume, and Yofi. I think our hit is after this. And there we go. This looks to be a double rare Oski. Yep, we're right. So that is our third double rare. So that makes you my enemy, a Kanata, and then a Noelle. Very cute Noelle. So that is our third double rare, which means that I think we have one left. And I'm curious if the S card takes up the SR or the UR slot, since we did pull two of them, which might be a bit of a bummer, but we'll see. We have Bales, Mori Calliope. Wow, first one I pulled with this. I'm kind of surprised by that. Aki, Red Shear. We have Muna. This is a Buzz, so this is a double rare? Oh no, wait, this is an SR. This is an SR, first Buzz, Muna Hushing Nova. Okay, so we have an SR. We have Idle Microphone, Bales, and Taco's Bales again. So, Bay. Double Bay. Okay, so that's an SR. I'm curious if that means that we're not getting a UR in this box. So that's that. And then SR Muna. Okay. Okay, so the SRs can be full arts. Actually, I think this might be a full art version of another card then. Of the Buzz or the double rare maybe. Let me double check that. Yeah, the double rares, we have a Muna that looks just like this. But it has like Buzz up here and then Buzz down here at the corner. So this seems to be a full art version of that card. So okay, so SRs are basically just full arts. Good to know. And you seem to get one SR per box. Okay, I definitely want to try to get... I might try to look into getting some of the like SR versions of the adventure cards that I really like. So like the Noel, the Flare, and the Marine, and the Cora, just because they look really cute. Okay. Alright, so that's our SR. We have 2 packs left to see if we pull a single UR at all. But I think we still have 1 double rare to pull. We have Iris, Crony, KFP, and Green Cheer. No hit here, but it's a Crony, Iris, Penlight, and then Crony at the end for the rare. And so we have our last pack for the box. So URs don't seem to be guaranteed in a box. Which is, okay, that makes sense considering how expensive they seem to be. But alright. Louis, Encore, Iroha, and White Shear. I'm guessing this is going to be a double rare behind this. And I was correct. Zeta, double rare. Then we have Kiara, Tail of the Moon and Rabbit, and a rare Iris. Okay, so based off of just the second box, I can make the hypothesis, or the assumption in a sense, that we get 4 double rares per box, for sure. I mean, that seems to be consistent so far. At least 1 S. So I think the S cards are up to just how many. I think it's like minimum 1 per box, I think. So far we've gotten 1 SR, so you get 1 reverse holo, or full art I should say, per box it seems, and 1 Oshi super rare per box it seems like, and then either another S or possibly some other rarity. I don't know what this would change out to be. If it's just S's or URs or something like that, I'm gonna have to check with the 3rd box just to see. But that seems to be the way that the boxes appear to be going. So from this next box, we can look forward to 4 double rares, an SR, an OSR, and 1, at least 1, special, like reverse holo card. And then after that, it's hard to tell what we can get. We can get an ultra, a UR. We can get another S. I think if we get 2 S's, we're not getting a UR. That is my guess. So that is something to consider. All right, last box. Aki, Iris, Prony, Cheer. This is going to be our first hit, I believe. And this is a SR. So our first hit is actually our super, in other words, our full art. It is Oski. Very cool. Which means that I think at this point, I can't get the Polka, or the Kiara, or the Kanata, or the Mume. So those next 4 cards are pretty much already out of the running, which is kind of a bummer. Actually, I'm not sure about the Mume, unless the Mume is an a UR. Actually, let me check real quick. What are the URs in this set? Actually, the Kiara, the Polka... Actually, both the Kiara and the Polka that I have on there seem to be URs. So I guess there's still a chance that I might be able to pull some of those. In regards to SRs, however, are those completely out of the running? I don't know. What rarity is the Mume? OUR? Oh, it's an OUR, okay. So that Mume on the list is an OUR, so I'd have to be very lucky to pull essentially a Oshi ultra rare. And Mume is one of those, the Berry Mume. What about that Kanata? What is the Kanata? Is it an SR? No, it's not an SR. Is it an S? Well, no, because it doesn't have a border. An OSR, maybe? Oh, it's an OSR. Okay. So... Okay, we've only pulled an SR. So... the Polka, the Mume... The Kanata... Okay, so everything is still up for grabs on this list. That's basically what I'm kind of getting the impression from this. Alright. So we got Mume. We got Polka. And our rare is Suisei. So Oski takes up our SR slot, which is good because that means everything that's on our list here is still up for grabs. I can't get everything on this list, but anything else that I can pull from it would be amazing, actually. We got Mume, Bei, Mori, or Kali, Stone. What is our hit? This is a double rare Pecora. Very cute. ID Gen 3, Pecora, and a rare Louis. So next up, we have Oski, Gonmo, Louis, Muna, that is number 4, so this next one is our hit. And that is a Suisei double rare. I love the little, like, shooting stars kind of happening in the background there. Very, very nice. We have Suisei, Kiara, and our rare Crummy. Okay, next up we have KFP, Louis, Encore, Muna, and our hit is, there is no hit, there's Gaming PC, Kobo, and Susei's Mic, and a rare Mume. Next up we have Mume, Kobo, Onkimo. Bro, you're still... Yeah, yes I am, dude. Actually, I've gotten some pretty decent hits. Blue Cheer, and then this is probably gonna be the hits. So let's see what we get. Okay, no hit here. So we get Kiara, Aki, Iroha, and a rare Yofi. Honestly, dude, I got a pretty good hit with the first box. I'm still trying to see how this works, but this right here, $200 card. Yeah, so it works like in a kind of weirdly like Pokemon, yeah. The hits seem to, yeah, 200, but dude, look it up. I'm not joking. Actually, I'll give you $5 for it. Fuck off. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can actually show this real quick. Let's do this. Alright, let's try that. Okay, here we go. So I pulled a UR, and this is the one that I got. Oshimachi Suisei. 225, dude. Yeah, I was very surprised. But it doesn't seem like you get a UR from each box. So URs are kind of hard to come by. I just happen to get lucky. Yeah, there's a lot of different rarities here. But yeah, it kind of works like weirdly like Pokemon. The thing that is it just because of the VTuber? Honestly, I think part of it is, I don't know if it's necessarily because of the card being good or not, but I know for a fact that Suisei is probably a really big, like one of the bigger talents. Just in like, in the case of like scope, like she's been around the longest, and she's like one of the bigger singers in hololive. Like she's fucking huge, dude. Like she's done a lot of really good music. I mean, I've showed you some of her music actually, and you even said like, oh shit, that's actually not bad. So yeah, like I think a lot of people like in hololive that like are interested in music definitely look up to like Suisei, because she's crazy. She's got a really good voice. Honestly, it's possible that it is probably really good, but also like there's the rarity part, because like right here, the whole Shining Comet thing, it does 60, and then it can get another plus 60, so it could do 120. And then I think this, if I remember correctly, this little thing here, the little red box here, means that if you're fighting against a red card, it'll do 50 extra damage to red. So you're kind of doing like 60 and 60, that's 120, and 50, that's like 170. That's pretty good. That seems like pretty good. It's not like a one-hit KO at all, but it does a lot of damage for like quite a few other cards at least. And also this card can attack the back row. So I think that's really good. So you can kind of take out like a basic or like one of the smaller talents on the board. So yeah, that's pretty good. Shake my head that VTuber on VTuber violence in this game. Shut up, this guy. Okay. Anyway, let's take this thing off. Yeah, dude, that's why they're just performing. They're not actually being violent. Okay, so we have a common, we have Bay, Aki, Kanata, and then a red sheer. So that's it for the commons. If there is a hit in this pack, it's usually right after this, and it usually takes up an uncommon slot. So let's see. Yep, there we go. And this seems to be an S. It's an S rarity, which means that it's basically a reverse holo version of like a common or uncommon card. So this is pretty cool. There's usually at least like one of these per box, it seems like. So it's just kind of like a reverse holo in a sense. Same idea. So that's it for that. And then this is an uncommon, uncommon, and then a rare. Gotta sleeve that. So I wasn't sure if the S cards only did uncommons, but it seems like it also does common. So that's, I think this one is essentially a common. So that's one S so far. It's possible to get two, maybe. It just depends. But yeah, we'll see. So far, I've pulled an SR from this box. How many boxes did I get? I got 3. If I remember correctly, they weren't that expensive. Give me one sec. I mean, yeah, because I mean, I had already bought the 6 Cyber Eden boxes, so that's why I was just like, eh. Are the hit rates consistent to how Digi is? So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I think so far the consistency seems to be with what they call double rares. So it seems like each box has 4 double rares per box. Yeah, so what I've noticed from the first 2 boxes so far is you're definitely going to hit at least minimum 4 double rares. Oh, dude, yeah, the booster boxes are very small. It is 12 packs per box. It's just 12 packs. Let's see, where the hell is this? I'm trying to look for my order. Okay, so each box was about $58. So about 60 bucks. So that means each pack is about $5. That's not bad. Yeah. Yeah. I am still trying to see how like consistent these things are though. Okay. But yeah, each box, I believe so far, has at least 4 double rares, at least 1 S, at least 1 SR, and I feel like everything else so far is up in the air. So we have a common, that's a Sora, Katori, Kobo, Zeta. So after this is our hit. If there's not a hit after this, then there's no hit on this pack. Oh my, holy fuck, dude! Dude! Holy shit! What the fuck? Oh my god, dude! What the fuck? What the fuck? It's a signed card, dude! It's the fucking... Holy shit! Dude! Oh my god, you... I'm fucking shaking, dude. Yes! You kidding me? Yes! Holy shit! Oh my god! Dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. This is one of 2 secret rares, dude. And apparently, secret rares are hard to come by in these fucking boxes. And I don't know if you saw this. Dude. Look at this shit. Holy fuck, man. Oh my god. Freaking the fuck out, man. Yes. Yeah, no shit, I'm getting a fucking, like, one of the fucking, oh my god, hold on. Jesus Christ, dude. My fucking hands are shaking, man. Holy shit! Oh my god! Jesus Christ. Fuck, dude. Oh my god, that fucking worth it, dude. Whole thing worth it for this. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Fuck, dude, I'm crying. Holy shit. How much did I spend? Let me see. It really wasn't much, which is the funny part. I spent $230. That dude, not nearly 2K. Hell no. Dude, fucking with the other Suisse, it was already pretty close to stonks. Like, I was like, okay, fuck, yeah. But yeah, no, holy shit. Yeah, holy fuck, dude. Oh my god. Thank you, Maury, for taking all those fucking bad boxes out of circulation. Holy fuck, dude. Oh my god. I mean, shit, how the fuck? How the fuck? Oh my god, dude. You know, the biggest irony is that I really wanted the Kiara, which is arguably going for less money, but I didn't really care. Because I just really like Kiara. But holy fuck, dude, I'm very happy with this. The keep gambling meme, exactly, dude. Holy shit. Oh my god, man. Holy fuck. Oh my god. You know what that means, though, right? There goes the rest of my luck for the rest of the fucking year. Jesus Christ. I am curious what slot this takes up, though. This is a secret rare. I'm guessing this is probably taking up the OSR that showed up in all the other packs. But we'll see. Holy fuck, dude, that's insane. Jesus Christ. See, dude, that's where the money is, dude. Get into waifus. Yeah, that's true. There's no fucking digicard that gets close to that, but yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, man. That's crazy. Jesus. Okay, I'm fucking psyched out. Polka, Friend, Pecora, Yofi. Alright, no hit there. It's Louis, Kanata, Bay, and Blair. I love the fucking art here, by the way. This art is so good. If you want, dude, I'll let you know when a set comes out where Ina has a signed card. And then you can try to go for that. You're not, but okay, sure, whatever, man. Just saying, just saying. That's fair, that's fair. Iris, Euro Hunt. Fuck, man, my voice is gone. Crony, Yofi. This next one is probably gonna be a hit. I've got 2 double rares so far, so I'm guessing this is also a double rare. Oh shit, no double rare. So that's okay. That Usada Pecora. I'll smack you with a blunt weapon, and then the rare Kobo. Honestly, if I get no hits for the rest of the box, I would like, fuck it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Oh, you finally got your... Oh. Damn, dude, they barely got shipped? Bro. Have they told... Does it say, like, when you can expect to get them? Yeah, no kidding, right? But still, it doesn't hurt. Hero, Wild Rabbit Alliance, Kanata, White Shear. Okay, this is a double rare Polka, which I'm very happy with. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. And yeah, this one has some texturing, which is very neat. And then uncommon Pecora, Kill the Moon and Rabbit, and then a rare Pecora. Fuck, dude. Dude, I straight up just used up all my, like straight up, I used up all my fucking luck. I fucking pulled an SP card from Cyber Eden, and I pulled a fucking signed Suisei. Holy shit, dude. That is insane. Upal, Polka, Oski, Zeta. The hits is another double rare. Kanata, Zeta, I leave the rest to you, and a rare Pecora. Oh, you're expected to get it tomorrow? Hell yeah, dude. Here's hoping you get a fucking SP card, dude. You know what? Fucking shit, I should really drink some water. I'm hoping you get specifically... Let's see, where the fuck is TCG? I'm so happy with shit right now. I'm hoping that you specifically pull fucking SP Nokia, dude. SP Nokia or SP Yuko. I think Nokia would be the best though. Fucking, it's going for like $400 right now. How much would you fucking freak the fuck out if you pulled that? If you get SP Nokia, you're committing to getting the rest. Fuck, you know what? Go for it, dude. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's funny. I mean, yeah. Jesus Christ. Alright. Okay, so at this point, I've gotten all 4 double rares. I have one S card and one SR. The secret, I'm assuming, is taking the spot of the OSR. So I think we can still pull like an S maybe, or a UR? I don't know. Yeah, it's the last fucking pack anyway. We got Amelia Watson, Suisse, Jobs, Kiara. Ah, fuck, there was no hit, but that's fine. Suisse, Louis, Muna, and Noel. Okay, so from this box, I still got the 4. Yeah, no shit, right? I still got the 4 double rares. So these are all double rares. And you can tell it's double rare because it says yeah, you can barely see, but it has like 2 R's here. So that's a double rare. The double rares, I think, count similar to like your SRs in Digimon. So like, you know for a fact that you're gonna get a certain number of these. So we got 4 double rares in this box, which is Polka, Kanata, Suisse, and Pecora. We have an S card, which shows an S there. This is basically the equivalent of a reverse holo of any kind of like uncommon or common card. So that's what this is. We have an SR. Yeah, this is an SR. And SRs, weirdly enough, SRs are kind of like your full arts. Like if you think about it in regards to like Pokemon, or I guess you could say like in Digimon, it would maybe be like an alt art. I don't know if necessarily it does an alt art. I would probably go closer to calling it a full art, because I think there are cards in the set that have the same kind of information as this, like the same powers and attack, but it has like a border around it, and this doesn't have a border. The SRs I don't think have borders. So it's a lot closer to saying that SRs are like your full art cards, like from Pokemon. If that makes sense. Because if I look here, I think there might be a double rare that has this. Yeah. So, okay, here we go. So as you can see here, over here, this one here is the SR, which is the one that I pulled here. And then over here, you can see there's a double rare. And notice that this one actually has like a border to it here and all that stuff. But it has the same, like, same art, same everything. This one doesn't have one. Yeah. So your SRs are basically your borderless, like your full arts. Honestly, I'll be honest, I kind of like it. It's probably not even like for game purposes or anything. I just want the full arts of this because I love the art that this person did. I think their name is Mono. Yeah, I think it says around here. But yeah, I love the art style, like the use of like watercolors. So like I want that marine. I want let's see. So I do want to get that marine. I want to get this Noel because I love the little like the art right there. I do like the flare here as well. Like that's just so cute. And then there is, I believe, yeah, Pecora here. So it's 4 of them, but like, yeah, I really like the art style and everything. Yeah, honestly, like from the looks of things, most of these like full arts aren't crazy expensive, which is kind of cool. But yeah, some of them are definitely on the pricier side, so like on the 20s kind of thing. But yeah, I do really like this Kiara. It looks really cool. Okay, so the neon light colors are already a plus for you. From where? Which ones? Oh, the Hosho alt art? Oh, okay. Yeah, that does look pretty cool. So yeah, this is the SR that I got. So I think there is 1 SR per box. So you get essentially 1 full art per box. And then in the case of this box, I didn't get a UR, I didn't get a second S, and I didn't get an OSR, which is an Oshi super rare. But I did pull this, so I think that's worth it. For what it's worth though, Oshi cards have this background, while all the other cards have this one. By the way, I love this, dude. The fucking background on these looks so fucking cool. Like, I think like some of these like little black diamonds actually do glisten a little bit. Yeah. So this is the back for the main deck cards, and this is the back for like your energy cards, and for your main like quote unquote like your boss monster guy. So for example, anything that's called an Oshi or an OSR is like your main boss monster. Yeah, I really like the backgrounds. The backgrounds look fucking sick. And then like the emblem on the fucking card game is actually really fucking cool. Yeah, they look really good. I like the way that they turned out. But yeah, the way that the game works is that you have your Oshi card. The Oshi basically works as like your main boss monster on the field that can basically do some abilities just by paying the certain cost that they have here. And the amount of life that you have is based on whatever the life that your Oshi has. So you get 5 life with this card, for example. And so you'd set up like 5 quote unquote like security kind of. And so yeah, that goes off of this. And just like Pokemon, whenever they take out one of your talents, you lose 1 life, basically. And then all the other cards, like these, like notice that they have second, they have first, things like that. This is just like Pokemon. You just need to look for like a debut card, and then from here you can go into like a let's see, you can go into like a stage 1 Kiara. So you can go from this Kiara to a stage 1 Kiara, and then from that into like a stage 2 Kiara or something like that. So it works similar to Pokemon. But yeah, okay, so that was box 3. Box number 2 over here. I'll go through them like this. I got these as the double rares. So we got Sora, got Polka, and the ones that have Buzz are like your EXs. And I will say I like the way that they set this up instead, because instead of it being like a basic EX, it's like a stage 1 or a stage 2. And just like in the Pokemon game, if you take out a Buzz card or like an EX, you do extra damage to the life. So like there it says, if this Hollow Mem is down, you get life -2. But in return, you have like really strong HP and really strong effects usually, or attacks. But yeah, we got Sora, we got Polka, got Oski, and got Zeta. And then this one I believe is a S card. Yeah, so this is a hollow version of a common or an uncommon card. And then I got another S card here. So this one's also a hollow version of a common or an uncommon. And then this one is my SR. So this is just a full art pretty much. And then I pulled this one as an OSR, which is an Oshi super rare. So this one actually can be one of your boss monsters. Has more life 6, but has different effects. And yeah, so this one, I think you get one OSR per box or something of that sort. I'm not entirely sure because I mean I've only done 3 boxes, right? But at least every single box had some kind of like Oshi rare card, like super or higher. So I think you get 1 Oshi super rare per box, or higher at least. And so that was from box 2. And then from box 3, I got, again, Oski, Kanata, Zeta, and Muna. And then I got, I think this is an S card. So this is the hollow version of a uncommon or common card. This one is the OSR, or the Oshi super rare, right? So that was the Oshi super rare hit for the box. And then I did get another SR, I believe. Yeah, this one. Oh no, wait. This is my SR hit. So this is the full art hit for the box. And then I happened to pull in this box a UR, which apparently is not it's not a for sure thing, but yeah, URs are pretty rare, it seems like. And yeah, so this one was a UR. So I think based off of what I've seen, for sure when it comes to a box, you will get an OSR or higher, at least 1 SR, at least 1 S, and at least 4 double rares. Anything outside of that is just extra. And you can get extra, essentially. But yeah, dude, this was fucking crazy. Fucking, that's a $200 card, $225 or something, and a fucking $2,000 card. Holy shit! Holy fuck, dude. Yeah, no kidding, dude. Fucking, maybe I should just really look into fucking hololive more. Fucking stonks, bro. What's that shit to Mori? Oh fuck, dude. I do. You know what? Yeah. Hold on, hold on. Ah, fuck. I'm not signed into Twitter on this thing. I'm gonna have to do this. Oh, god damn it, my battery's low. Pretty much. Okay. Man, I was fucking joking when I said, can you imagine if I pull a fucking signed card? Jesus Christ, dude. There you go, dude. That's what I'm posting. I'm put, just want to say thank you, Mori Calliope, for increasing the chances for the rest of us. This was in box number 3. I'd be pissed if I saw that. Oh, yeah. Holy shit, man. Jesus Christ. Okay. Fuck. I gotta, like, wind down now. Holy shit, I just realized it's about to be 1 o'clock in the morning. Alright. So that was it. I did open the deck earlier. So you're free to look at that. I did kind of like an explanation, I think, of like how the cards work for the most part. But yeah, Jesus Christ, man. What a day. Thanks, dude. Thanks for coming by, too. Night, dude. I'm just gonna end it there. Bye-bye.